How can you legally acquire a land certificate or a land title for a piece of land or a property that you own here in Cameroon, even here in the city of Boya, southwest region of Cameroon? Now, before we get into the procedures or the process on how you can legally acquire a land certificate or land title, let's first of all see what a land title looks like. This is an example of a land title. Very hot, cold, and sweet title. I love this document. Now, what is this document? What is a land title or land certificate? You can see copy of land certificate, copie du titre foncier. A land title or land certificate is also called titre foncier in French. A land title or land certificate is a legal document that proves absolute ownership over a particular piece of land recognized by the government. So when you have this document, it means that the government is telling you and the entire country that that particular property belongs to you. And do you know that if you have this document, even the government cannot take away your land from you without due legal compensation? They can't, right? Because you have full and legal ownership over that particular property. So in this video, I'm going to show you three different procedures or three different ways in which you can use to acquire a land title. For example, let's say I want to teach you how to cook eru or prepare eru, right? Eru is a popularly known traditional Cameroonian meal or dish. Let's say there are three ways. I want to show you three ways in which you can use to prepare eru. Or is that at the end you will have eru to eat. So I want to show you three different ways or procedures in acquiring this land certificate. Now, the first step, right, in order for you to acquire a land certificate is to know the type of land. It doesn't matter whether you're using method 1, method 2, or method 3, right? You should know the type of land you want to apply a land certificate or land title for. Now, there are two major kinds of lands, even though there are three, but when it comes to, the law, there are two major types. There's national land and there's state land. Under state land, let's start with state land. Under state land, you have state private land and state public land, right? Please, even though you don't understand this, I just want to lay a foundation before I now start showing you the procedures or the steps you can use to acquire a land certificate. Now, under national land, there are two different categories of national land. You have the first category and the second category. Now, the first category of national land is land that was not developed before 1974. Because the Land Ordinance of Cameroon started or was instituted in 1974, right? I don't want to get into that. Maybe we can get a different video where I'll explain to you the Land Ordinance of 1974. And then the second category of national land is land that was developed after 1974. So the first procedure will be procedure for state land. Land that's normally owned by the government. So you want to acquire that land, or maybe you've bought the land and you want to apply for a land title, a land certificate of that particular land. I don't know if I see that the video is, quite too long, I'm going to cut it. This will be a part 1 and there will be a part 2. But if I can find a way to, squeeze in the two different procedures here, then the part 2 will be the last procedure. So I'm going to show you the procedure for acquiring a land certificate for state land, secondly for private land, and thirdly how to apply for an extract of a land certificate. Right? So let's say you are buying a land that already has this certificate, and let's say you want to buy a portion of the land. How do you extract? How do you apply for a land certificate for that part of the land that already has a mother land certificate? So this first video, we're going to be looking at the first two procedures, and the second, or part 2, the second video will be for the extraction of the land certificate. So step number 1. Procedures to acquire a state land. There are actually 6 main procedures here. So we are going to take it one after the other. Procedure or step number 1, you have to compile a file. And in this file, there will be an application letter applying to possess that said land. The second thing that should be in that file should be the site plan of the land. The third is you have to get forms from the Ministry of Land and fill. So when you go to the Ministry of Land and tell them you want to apply for a land certificate, there are some forms that you have to fill. And the third thing that should be in the file is that there should be an estimated cost of whatever you want to do on the land. You should write an estimated cost of whatever thing it is that you want to do on the land, present or future, and then you attach it to it. That will also help the minister to determine the cost of the amount of money you are going to pay for your land certificate. Step number 2, take that file or that compiled file to the SDO, to the senior divisional officer of your region. You take it. Now, when you deposit at the senior divisional officer's office, the senior divisional officer will forward it to the Minister of State Land, Property and Land Tenure in Cameroon. He's currently the Minister of State Land, or the Minister of Lands in Cameroon is Minister Ayebe Ayisi Henry. He's currently the Minister of State Land, Property and Land Tenure in Cameroon. So the minister will now take that document, go through it, and he will sign a decision, right, telling you the price that you are going to pay for that certificate. Step number 4, you have to compile another file, right? And in that file, you will now fill some other forms now that will be given to you still in the land office. So after the first file has been sent, step number 4, you will fill some, this if you want to do all of this alone. But if you want to use a real estate company, all of these processes don't really concern you. All is that you give them your money and they tell you that by this time, come and collect your land certificate, and you come and your land certificate is ready. But if you want to personally apply for it or on your own, this is for state land, not for private land. No. For state land, you have to compile another file, right? And this file, in this file, the only documents that will be in the file will be, forms that you fill given to you at the land office. And step number 5, you submit again to the SDO's office, Senior Divisional Officer's office, and he forwards back again to the minister, right? Now, when the minister receives the second set of file, the first thing he now does is that he signs an arrêté. In French, it's called arrêté. In English, it's called order. So he signs an order. Now, when he signs this order, right, he sends it back to you. Right, you go back to the land office and take it. They will tell you when you come and collect. You now go back, you collect it, and when you receive the document, you take it to the Department of Taxation for it to be stamp duty or registered. So you go back, you stamp duty or you register that the documents or the forms or the arrêté and the order that the minister sends to you. You now take, after you have stamp duty it, you carry it to the land registrar in your region, who now establishes a land certificate for you. Now, every division in Cameroon or every region has a land registrar. Boya has, except places like Littoral, that's Douala and Yaoundé, that have more than 2 because of the population in that location. Places like Boya, they have just 1 land registrar. You take it, it's that land registrar that now establishes a land certificate or a land title for you. So this is how you can acquire a land certificate of a state land here in Cameroon, especially here in the city of Boya, southwest region of Cameroon. Now, there's one thing you should note. Now, this is a gist. I'm just giving you a gossip as our sweet, intelligent investors. Now, in every stage of this application, you see that you have to go to the SDO, come back, go to the land office, come back, go to the land registrar, come back, go to the minister. In every stage, you have to honor every department to have access. If not, you carry your documents and you go and deposit at the land registrar or in the land office, and your documents will remain there for the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Nobody will look at it. You might call it bribery, you might call it whatsoever, but whatsoever you name that thing is. Me, I have decided to call it honor, right? So if I go, I will have to honor them. Now, I made a video and I explained detailedly how you can, honor this thing. I made a video on how you can acquire a land, like a private land, so you can go there and watch that video. There I explain detailedly how this law works. It's not called bribery and corruption. It's called the law of honor. Now, in life you have keys that opens many doors. The key that opens the door of access, right, is called the law or the key of honor. So when you go, it's like, you can call it fuel money, you can call it money for collateral, you can call it bribery and corruption. But please, this is especially for you, a Cameroonian who is abroad, and maybe you've stayed abroad for a very long time, and everything is legal, is strict, there are no sugarcoating any stuff there, and you come to the country and you want to implement that kind of rule. If you bring that same kind of mentality, which is very good and perfect, and I applaud you for that, you bring it back. But if you bring it to the country here in Cameroon, you're going to suffer. Okay? There's nothing that's going to be done for you like that. People don't just do things for people like that here. You have to use the law or the key of honor to open the door of access to anything you want to get here in the country. So in every stage, know that you should have a seed or key of honor that we use to open the door to make sure that the land office sends your document to the SDO, the SDO sends it, you give honor to you have to honor the SDO for the SDO to send it to the minister, and then and so on and so forth. If you go to the minister's office, the SDO will tell you that what you are giving here, I will have to give part at the minister's office for them to also use that key to open that door for the minister to check your documents and send it back. Okay, so that is the process of acquiring a land certificate for a state land. Now let's go to part 2. That is a process of acquiring a land certificate for a private land. Step number 1 of how to acquire a land certificate for a private land. Number 1, you have to fill a form in the DO's office, right? You have to fill a form in the DO's office requesting that you want to acquire a land title over that particular piece of land that you wish to acquire. See the difference. When it comes to state land, the form or that you fill or the file that you compile, you send it to the SDO's office, Senior Divisional Officer's office. But when it comes to private land, you fill forms at the DO's office, that's Divisional Officer's office. After you now fill those forms at the DO's office, the DO will make a calendar or will give you a date on which the Land Consultative Board is going to come and visit your land. They will give you a date in which the Land Consultative Board is going to come and inspect and visit your land. Again, take note, you are going to give the DO what we call fuel money, right? Because the day the Land Consultative Board is coming to visit your land, the DO will also have to come along with them. And you don't expect the DO to come like that. You have to fuel his car. Now, you are going to fuel the DO's car and also give, a seat of honor to the Land Consultative Board differently. If the board now comes and they are satisfied, they survey your land, they come with the surveyor, they survey your land, everything is good, they mark out the boundaries of your land, and they are satisfied with what they are seeing, they will plant pillars at the 4 edges of your land. This is still step number 1, still under step number 1. They will plant pillars. The day they are coming, you can even cook food. You cook food, you buy wine, you give them, they eat and stuff like that. Step number 2, after the surveyor has done that, step number 2, the surveyor that surveyed the land will now have to produce a cadastral plan or a site plan for that property. Right? We'll produce a cadastral plan. Let me show you an example of a cadastral plan. This is an example of a cadastral plan. I'm sorry, I have to cover the name of the owner, for confidentiality. So this is an example of a cadastral plan. It's just like a site plan, right? But the cadastral plan is the one that's mostly attached to the land certificate is always called a cadastral plan. It's a site plan. So you have to also pay the surveyor differently, right? That's why you can bring your own surveyor. So if your own surveyor is way more cheaper, you can use your surveyor. But if theirs is cheaper, and you should also know that surveyors charge at least 150K and above. I don't know, each surveyor has it, but you are not going to pay less than 150K. So just budget that for that. And step number 3, there are actually 4 main steps, right? And step number 3, compile all of the documents that you have gotten above. So from the documents that you filled and everything, the documents the surveyor will give you, the documents the Land Consultative Board is going to give you, the documents that the DO, not the SDO, the divisional officer is going to sign and give you. You compile all of those documents and take it to the regional delegation of land for publications to be made. Now, what the regional delegation of land will do, right, is that they will make a publication on the monthly bulletin. Like in French, it's called monthly bulletin. It's like a monthly, let me say, should I say calendar or report? A monthly bulletin or report, right? That a bulletin is something that they use to write down the names of all of those who are interested in acquiring a land in acquiring a land title. They will now paste that name on the publication board at their office, right? They will paste it at their office on the 1st of every month. They do that on the 1st of every month, and they leave it there for 30 days. The reason why they are leaving it there is so that if there's anybody that has dispute or is claiming ownership or doesn't want you to acquire that land title because of any reason, that person should come forth. They give that person 30 days to come forth. It's just like when you go for a civil, you go to apply or you want a civil marriage in court, right? They are going to take your name and then they put on their board and they give some time for anybody to come and object to your wedding or your marriage. Same thing happens in the Catholic Church. If you want to marry, they also carry your name and that of your spouse or your to-be spouse they put it on their board. If anybody has anything against your marriage, let that person come and object now or remain forever silent. They keep it there for 30 days. If nobody now objects, step number 4 is that the regional delegation office will now compile or carry all of those documents and forward to a competent divisional land registrar who now establishes a land certificate for you. So this is so if you have a private land, right, like you have a land you bought from a chief that now belongs to you, right, it's a private land. So this second procedure is what you use in order to acquire or apply for a land certificate. So the competent divisional land registrar now issues or establishes a land certificate for you. I hope you learned something from this video and you learned how to apply for a land certificate. I made a video on what a land title is, how to verify whether a land title is fake or not, and the important stuffs or important information that you must find in a land title, right? The video is on my channel, or you can just go on YouTube, just type what is a land title or what is a land certificate in Cameroon. My video is going to pop up and you can watch, learn as much as you can. Till I come your way again, keep watching my videos, keep learning, keep investing in real estate. I remain your favorite real estate consultant, lead marketer at Property Trust Group, certified real estate consultant, realtors coach here in the city of Buea, Cameroon. And see you on the next one, where I'm going to be explaining to you how to apply for an extract of a land certificate.